it shows our kids that we're not relying on our own strength to get through the day, that it is so crucial and so important in our lives to rely on the strength of the Lord, especially in those quote failing moments. And that is such a great way to point our kids to the gospel, which is our purpose as parents in the first place. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel, Pennies and Salt. I'm Megan if you're new here, and I am a mom to 6 children ages 10 and under, and also a homeschool mom. So with the kids always being here and multiple jobs that I am trying to achieve and things like that, it gets pretty crazy over here sometimes. So a big question I get a lot is, how do you get it all done? So today I'm going to share with you how I do or don't get it all done. The first thing that I want to start with, mamas, is the fact that I don't get it all done. I don't know anybody who honestly gets it all done. So there are several tips and tricks that have really helped me along the way, and they don't always work for me perfectly every day, but they do really help to keep us on track, to keep things at least somewhat balanced here in our home. So the first and biggest thing would be to at least have a routine or rhythm to your day. This is absolutely crucial for our home, I've learned over the years, is not a schedule, but to at least have a routine so that my kids know at least what's coming and what to expect. Just like for us as adults, we have a routine where every day when we wake up, more than likely you brush your teeth, go to the bathroom, or whatever order you do it in, get dressed for the day, maybe you make your bed, maybe you take a shower, whatever your routine is. Normally you have a rhythm and routine to your day. Our children need that as well, especially since our children are at a young and impressionable point in their life. They need us to come alongside them and lead them in learning habits and helping them put routines in place so that they can become a little more organized. So I am not a very organized person, in all honesty. I love organization, love it, and I will have moments in my life where I will go through and I will spend a whole evening after the kids go to bed and I will organize everything, and I thrive when I do that. When I do that for our homeschool, I recently did a video about how I plan for our homeschool, and you guys, when I plan that way consistently, that is when we are the most driven and focused in our homeschool, and we accomplish the most, not only in our homeschool but also in our home. And so I thrive under routine and under organization, but in all honesty, organization can be something that doesn't come easy for me. I literally am ADD and because of that, I was diagnosed by a psychologist with this when I was a child, and I still struggle with it as an adult. But I have learned a lot of coping skills with really how to try to focus my mind, and setting apart time for me to do nothing but get focused and organized, I have found is really crucial for me to be as productive as I possibly can. With that said, for that organizational purpose, I am a very visual person. So things that help me to stay on track are things like visuals that I make. This is an example of one of those visuals. It stays on my refrigerator and it serves as a reminder for me every day to, okay, it's Monday. I need to dust, do the windows, wipe down the doors and the doorknobs. Things that are kind of those deep cleaning type things that sometimes, without realizing it, get left by the wayside because we're so focused on just the everyday. So the other thing I have on here is our 15-minute pickups. So these are, some people call them blitzes. I just call them 15-minute pickups, but basically it is where I set a timer for 15 minutes in the morning before school, before nap time, and then the third time before bed as part of like our nightly routine. And so I will set this timer for 15 minutes and all of us go to a different area of the house. I'll tell the kids which area to go to and they go there and we do this 15-minute pickup and see how much we can get picked up in 15 minutes. My kids thrive under that, and it's all of us together doing this as a family. So the teamwork aspect really helps a lot. The other thing for me is I tend to, if I am not careful, clutter things up. Not terribly, but like junk drawers and just piles of paper clutter and things like that that will get behind and stacked up at random places in the house. So I have on here 10-minute declutters. And I am not always the greatest at achieving that, but I find that having that reminder there has helped me many times to remember, okay, let me take 10 minutes right now that I have free and just go declutter this drawer in the kitchen, or go through this paper clutter, or go through this bookshelf and see if there's any books that we can give away, that kind of thing. So those are things that really help me to stay focused, but also to keep our home a little more on track. So going along with the whole idea of visuals and routines and things like that, I am a person who has learned to absolutely love and thrive using planners. Now this is the planner I use. This is put out by my friend Wendy over at Plan Prep Pray. And this is her. I love this planner. It has worked very well for me, but there are lots of other planner options out there. And so my advice to you would be to pick an option that works well for you. I know some people are visual in a book kind of people, and some people thrive with electronic type planners. My friend Colleen over at Our Blessed Life uses a planner that is digital, and she thrives with that planner. My advice to you would be to find something planner wise that works well for you. So in my planner, I have pages that are designated for homeschooling. I have pages that are designated for things that I need to get done outside of homeschooling, just for our everyday life and things like that. I find it super helpful just to have a place to put all of that down, so I don't forget things. So in my planner, I make sure to write down like when certain bills are due, when we have lessons of some sort, when my kids were playing sports. They haven't been since the pandemic, but when my kids were playing sports, putting that in there. And it helps me just to be more organized. So that is another tip, is just using something as simple as a planner. So the last thing I want to talk about is just something I think that is so important, and that is to remember, I know that people say it all the time, but it really is so true. There are times when we as moms just need to give ourselves grace. So there are two aspects to this. Number one, not being so hard on ourselves when we do have days that are really tough, because there are seasons of our life, whether it be postpartum, whether it be just a difficult homeschooling season, homeschooling children with special needs, whatever that season may bring, or whatever that point in your life may be. It's important to remember that on days when we feel like a failure, that we're not. It does not define who we are as a person, and it does not define who we are as a parent. And so we need to take each day as a day to learn and to really rely in the strength that the Lord gives us. So that is one thing I want to encourage you with. The other thing is that if you are having a rough day, which I have been in a season of a lot of sleepless nights lately, which is something that I feel like I shouldn't be experiencing anymore, because my youngest son is over a year and a half old. But we have some kids that are struggling with some insomnia issues out of nowhere, another one struggling just with night terrors, my 3-year-old, and then the baby still from time to time does wake up. So there have been a lot of sleepless nights for me lately. And so that has been something really important for me to remember in my mind, is that this season is not going to last forever. And while there are days where I feel like I can't get ahead on anything, there will be a day when I am on top of everything. And so just remembering that. But the other thing that's really important to remember is that when you are having a day that is just a blah kind of day and you're off your routine and things are just kind of chaotic, it is never too late to get right back on routine. That is why I love putting those things in place, like these visual reminders. Those 15-minute cleanups really help transform our day, or those moments when things are crazy and chaotic. And so we just stop and we refocus. And honestly, guys, it's so important for us to model transparency with our kids, and just talking to our kids and being transparent and letting them know that it's a rough day because mommy didn't get enough sleep last night. But because of that, we can work together as a team and as a family to achieve what needs to be achieved throughout the day. And so I think that that's something really important to model for our children. When we do that, it shows our kids that we're not relying on our own strength to get through the day, that it is so crucial and so important in our lives to rely on the strength of the Lord, especially in those quote failing moments. And that is such a great way to point our kids to the gospel, which is our purpose as parents in the first place. So I just want to leave you guys with that. I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I hope that you found encouragement here. I would love to know down in the comments any tips or tricks that you may have. And I hope that you push that subscribe button and that like button, and I'll see you guys on future videos. Thanks so much and have a blessed day.